हेलो दोस्तों, मैं विकास कुमार स्वागत करता हूँ आप सबको मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल पर। और आज हम डिस्कशन करेंगे जो स्पीड चेस चैम्पियनशिप हुआ था अमेरिका के हिकारू नाकामुरा और नॉर्वे की मैग्नस कार्लसन के बीच। इस मैच को नाकामुरा ने 1 पॉइंट लीड लेते हुए जीत गए और काफ़ी ज़बरदस्त मैच रहा मुकाबला दोनों के बीच। पहले तो नाकामुरा ने 4 पॉइंट के लीड लिया था, लेकिन बाद में मैग्नस कार्लसन ने ज़बरदस्त वापसी किए, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली 1 पॉइंट से हार गए। तो आए मैच का मज़ा उठाते हैं, लुत्फ़ उठाते हैं इस ज़बरदस्त मैच की।
Haru Nakamura, the Speed Chess Championship Final. Two of the greatest chess players.
तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, तो दोस्तों यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कि दोनों के बीच कैसे सफ़र रहा। नाकामुरा ने पहले परवान को हराया, फिर आरोनियन को हराया, फिर निहाल सरीन इंडिया के जो है उनको हरा के फाइनल में प्रवेश किया। और उसी तरह हमारे कार्लसन ने डी गुकेश को हराया, फिर कार्लसन ने कारुआना को हराया और उसके बाद वैचर को हरा के फाइनल में प्रवेश किया और दोनों के बीच फाइनल मुकाबला हुआ। तो आइए देखते हैं इस मैच को।
Across 3 intense hours of blitz and bullet chess. Magnus entered the match as a big fan favorite, having won their 2 previous matches in the format by convincing margins. But Hikaru had made big strides in his game since their last match, and in their 7 games so far in 2022, Magnus had not beaten Hikaru, and Hikaru had 2 wins. An opening shot in bishop to f3 check.
Whoa, look at this! Whoa! Following, I had a game just like this against Ding in the Pro Chess League 2 years ago. I remember this move.
Bishop f3 check catches Hikaru by surprise. He looks upset right now.
In a balanced endgame, both players missed a chance for Hikaru to take a pawn on h7, and ultimately they repeated move. Magnus met Hikaru's King's Indian with the surprising bishop to d3, and he
तो जैसे कि आप देख रहे थे, पहली मैच दोनों के बीच ड्रॉ रहा, फिर आगे दूसरे मैच पे बढ़ते हैं।
Is he going to decide on c5? He decides to exchange rooks, but he gives up the pawn. Oh my gosh, and he's given up another one.
I think it's just a draw. Queen e1, and we have a draw by repetition.
By lands, and Magnus
So
doesn't
this
decide on
match
c5. It was
चालू हो रहा है
difficult
दोनों
to
के बीच।
calculate the ramifications, especially
ये
against
मेरी
Hikaru. It's a draw
नई
by
से जिसका नाम
perpetual
पूर्वी
check.
है।
Game 3 looked
Pulvi
like a
Pallavi
dead
Sahu
equal
है
snooze
ये।
fest. But then Hikaru stole a pawn and cemented a big knight on b7.
Knight takes b7. Trap this knight though. Hikaru can
जैसे
save
कि आप
from this
देख
pawn.
रहे थे
c5
कि
and
दूसरी
c6.
मैच भी ड्रॉ रहा, तो तीसरी मैच चल रहा है।
c6, the king cannot get in there. Bishop b6, he needs no king e6.
Make a move.
The king can't get to the pawn.
Oh, he's gonna flag.
और
He's gonna
तीसरी
flag.
मैच
He lost.
और यहाँ पर तीसरी मैच में मैग्नस का टाइम ख़त्म हो गया और नाकामुरा ने 1 पॉइंट की लीड ले चुके हैं। अभी चौथी मैच चालू हो रहा है।
He gained the lead. It's the first lead in this match, and it belongs to Hikaru Nakamura.
Insane. After that shocking time forfeit, Hikaru had the first lead of the match, and he was clearly feeling some momentum while Magnus seemed all out of sorts. Carlsen pressed again with a space advantage in game 4, but Hikaru showed his famous defensive skills and he held on in the mutual time scramble. Was the move 4e5 a mouse slip or a dubious opening try by Magnus in game 5? Either way, Hikaru laughed and continued confidently, establishing a big advantage. 18 knight g5 was a nice and accurate move by Hikaru.
He goes knight g5, hitting the h7 pawn. The queen has to take the knight. The bishop takes the bishop on b7, and after black moves rook a to b8, saving the rook and attacking the bishop, c7 pawn falls. White goes up pawn. It looks like a healthy extra pawn, but unless Magnus can drum up some counterplay, he is simply worse.
Magnus has literally 2 moves to drum something up because that pawn is reaching a8 and a tizzy, and Magnus flags.
और यहाँ पर भी मैग्नस का टाइम खत्म हो चुका है और 2 पॉइंट के लीड ले चुके हैं हिकारू नाकामुरा ने।
Kept the edge as they headed to the 7th game, where Magnus surprised
और
Hikaru
इस
by
मैच
playing the King's Indian
ड्रॉ रहा
himself,
है।
and Hikaru laughed as he deployed Magnus' earlier bishop d3 idea. Hikaru found a nice idea with knight to f5 to gain some edge, but in the time scramble, things got very messy.
Swap queens and win the d5 knight, so you got to keep your material. And speaking of material, white is only up 1 pawn. Queen takes up 6.
Queen takes b5 as a desperado. He's got to move his. Wait, what does Magnus do?
What a shot by
sacks his
King
knight.
G7. And then rook takes c5 at the end, and then knight. No, knight's not trapped. It's rook b8. Wow, this goes right for the pawn.
He just wants an attack, and Hikaru can even play like king a1, bishop b1. He can curl up into a ball. Instead, he eliminates the attacker.
And his rook takes a2 a possibility.
But Hikaru going for mate. He wants rook d7.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is
And
over.
1 second left, Magnus loses on time. Hikaru Nakamura sticks a knight on f6, and it is knocked out. 5-2 is the score. Nobody's counting Magnus Carlsen out, but
और
who
यहाँ
would
पर
have
नाकामुरा ने
believed
3 पॉइंट पे लीड ले
would
चुके
jump
हैं.
out to a 3-point lead this early in the match?
Magnus repeated his opening from the fourth game in Game 8. But again, Hikaru defended well, and all of a sudden, his knight leapt into d3, setting up brilliant threats.
The knight d3 instead, using the knight to hop in, and then rook can go to c3, the queen can go to g4, knight f4 check is available. This is scary for white.
Black's position is filled to the brim with tactical potential. And what's not filled to the brim? Look at Magnus's clock. He is again down 2 minutes, and the position is just getting more and more out of hand.
It is. He's just allowing
Knight
it.
f4.
Knight f4.
He's blundered knight f4, and it's mate.
Yeah, Hikaru sees it. He's like,
Hikaru can't believe it.
He looked at
And
the
this is basic Brian, Robert. This is an idea that occurs across all openings. This is universal. And you can't step back to the first rank because of rook c1 with mate. It's over.
Yeah, no, Hikaru saw it and looked at him. He's like, are you serious? Am I really playing back?
This is all you got, he says to Magnus. He's going to be up 4 points. Magnus has got a match on his hands, doesn't he?
Match. I mean, he's gonna have to work hard to stay in
Rook
this
c1,
match.
queen h3. Look at that mate.
Yeah. Nice move.
Another surprise opening from Magnus in Game 9 as he played the Nidor. This would be the final game of the
और
final.
यहाँ पर नाकामुरा ने 4 पॉइंट के लीड ले लिए.
Allowed Hikaru big chances, and suddenly the idea of trapping the queen lurked in the position.
So I feel like here Hikaru, if he finds b3, that just shows the sensational form. But he plays knight d5. I anticipated this would happen. And Danya, now I really feel like Magnus' chance in this game is massacre compensation for the queen.
Though Hikaru had missed a clear win, he was still pressing hard when something insane happened.
And the white king will be victim to a lot of checks. That's the one bit of good news for
Oh,
black.
bishop g6. He blundered and Magnus missed it.
Bishop g6, discovered attack on the rook on e1, and the queen on f7 was hit as well.
Unbelievable blunder. Magnus is not even thinking about it because he's so used to losing games. I think inertia just carried him forward. Bishop g6, the discovered attack, and you couldn't take the bishop, not because you lost the rook, because you got mated after that.
Okay, but look at that rook d5.
Queen e7.
Rook d2. It's a draw. Rook d1.
He allows
It's
a draw.
immediately.
And
Yeah.
listen, a good practical call by Hikaru. No need to do anything crazy. The only
और
crazy
इस
move there
मैच को कार्लसन जीत सकते थे लेकिन ड्रॉ हो गया अनफॉर्चुनेटली.
6.5, 2.5. After the 5+1 time control, Hikaru led by
5+1
and was
time
still
control के बाद
undefeated by Magnus in
हिकारू ने
2022.
4 पॉइंट के लीड ले लिए.
With a break to rest before the 3+1 time control, Magnus came out strong, getting a very Magnus-y positional advantage and pressing hard with his passed c-pawn.
Ah, I love that move. Love the move from b5.
The only move to win, apparently, according to the engines.
And Hikaru's just going to lose the time.
Magnus was on the board and had his first win against Hikaru in
Magnus ने
all
अपना
of
पहली
2022.
जीत का दर
In their
किया.
second 3+1 game, the players repeated their opening from game 1, but this time Hikaru found the bishop takes a7 idea to steal a pawn, although it was not enough to win. A fairly boring draw in the next game preceded a huge hold by Magnus in a difficult spatial squeeze.
And this has been phenomenal defense thus far by Magnus Carlsen, but can he keep it up? Rook to h8, preparing to occupy the open file he's created for himself. He's got the most counterplay he's had in a while. No rook b8.
Now the pawn goes from b8. I'm wondering if rook takes c5 will be played by Hikaru.
That would be an incredible call, a very risky move, but a potentially rewarding move. That knight is a beast. But no, a draw. And a dodged bullet by Magnus.
The next game was shaping up to see Magnus be the one squeezing when commentator Robert Hess jinxed him.
Look at this, knight c4, bishop c7. He might just win a pawn.
Not quite yet, though. The knight defending that square, but at the moment it moves, you are leading into c7. Oh, yeah, I got you. I
That's what you meant. Piece there. Yeah, but, you know, as my rules come to, you always have to be willing to be incorrect. I blundered a piece. It happened. So, bishop c7 would be great except for the
Oh, no way!
Oh my gosh!
और इस मैच
Is
को
this a dream?
नाकामयाब ने जीत के फिर
It
से
is.
4
Or
पॉइंट
never wants to
ले
wake
लिए।
up.
Hikaru's lead was up to 4, and he looked poised to expand it with a big knight takes f7 shot in the next game.
But look at Hikaru. He's spotting the tactics. Queen e7 play. Look at the eval. Wait a second. Was knight e6 the best move? Because I feel
No.
like, yeah, once we got here, the evaluation went down, and the reason why is if queen e7, bishop takes back, you take this b7, c3 falls, b4 falls next, and the knight is kind of trapped, stranded on b7.
Perpetual. It might be time for white to bail out.
You can take up b6, I feel like.
But then queen d5. Is Magnus the one going for it? No, he can't go king g6, can he?
After Hikaru's knight sack, it was now Magnus' turn to sack a knight with a textbook continuation.
Oh, on a6. Is there a knight b5? Rook c7,
Oh my
queen
gosh.
d5.
That is sick. The bishop on f5 is loose, as is the rook on 8. And look at Magnus. He's looking at the board from the side, and I think
He can't miss this.
he can't. He has to find the move. And knight takes d5 does the same thing, right? Plays knight b5.
It might have even been better. Knight takes d5, there might have been bishop e6, and
Yeah.
Magnus delivers. He had no right to miss that tactic. This is what he eats, not for breakfast. He eats harder tactics than this for breakfast, and a big miss by Hikaru. How lost is this, Robert? Is this just a pawn down and you're losing a second pawn and your position is collapsing, or is there any hope for Hikaru in the ensuing position?
Looks extremely lost. You have to take on c7 now, right? I don't see another move. And after queen takes d5, loose pieces drop off.
LPDO, said Daniel Naroditsky. The rook on 8 is loose. The bishop on f5, is similarly loose. And so you lose a pawn, then b5 drops, and you're going to lose this game. So the break could not have come at a better time for Magnus.
Hikaru put up strong defense, but he could not hold it in the end, though he did drain a lot of time off of the match clock. And he amusingly utilized the heck out of that strategy in the next game, dramatically thinking 3 minutes off of the clock with a forced
Oh, yeah,
repetition
but-
sitting on the board.
कार्लसन ने जीत के लीड को कमाया।
Yes, that's it. And Hikaru's going for it. And he's forgotten about it, I think. Yeah. This was from Lev Albert's First Alert. That book was way back in the day. I had that book. I played this opening to black. And the point bishop f2 check, king bishop e3 is a forced draw when you take the queen on e8. Now, white has the possibility of playing knight b5. Hikaru's not going to dip his toes into that toxic pool. He's going to accept the draw. A great result for Magnus. And he's not going to accept it until he spends the rest of his time. Forgotten again. Yes. So Hikaru's clock is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. He's going to take it down all the way to a couple seconds, and then he's going to play king e2. You go back. Black has no choice. You've given up your queen, and so you have to play this forcing sequence. Can't be happy with the way he's playing, but he's definitely happy there's time left on the clock. He got one more move, and now he's going to wait again. He's not waiting. He's thinking. He can spend this time thinking about how to play as black. So that's exactly what he is thinking about. Is the next game, the next opening, what he should do. And well, this game is about to be a draw as soon as king e1 is played. And don't lose on time. There we go. Okay.
When it mattered most, with time dwindling in the 3+1 time control, Magnus showed off some of his best chess of the match. First finding a fine tactic to win a pawn.
It's winning. He's knocking on the door of having this lead. Can he finish it off? Whoa. Goes there. Oh, bishop e6. King takes f6. What recognition. And this is winning. King f6. Go back. Take where? 5. I don't. Ooh!
The position was still incredibly difficult to win, but Magnus showed some outstanding technique in the endgame.
Rook h4 and rook f4. It's not over yet. Hikaru might look at this. Bishop g. This is insane. And this was necessary, because Hikaru would have otherwise given up the rook and traded the last pair of pawns.
और इस
There
मैच
was
को भी
just enough
मैग्नस
time
जीत
for
के
one more 3+1 game, but the players repeated the Marshall line that had only led to draws so far, and again, the ultimate result was equality. With that, Magnus won the 3+1 time control by 2 points, but he was still behind by 2 heading into the bullet time control. Magnus had momentum, but he did not get off to a good start in bullet as he allowed a fine knight f4 move by Hikaru that set up some beautiful tactics.
Magnus playing smart chess with knight f4. He allowed the knight out.
Oh, an early oversight. He has to move the bishop back. That gives Hikaru a tempo. Now, it's not the end of the world because his pawn structure can sustain it, but he'll need to smoke that knight out of f4 ASAP.
White has structural advantage. One is a knight to 2. Queen B2. Queen
Queen B2. Oh, what a move! Oh, what a tactic in game 1 of the bullet. It's going to win a pawn. The knight's jumping back to C4, and Hikaru's basically winning in the endgame.
And you saw that, he's like, yep, I missed that one. And Hikaru needs to put this one away or give like a 3-point lead. Well, what a mistake by Magnus Carlsen. He's just an off form in so many things. Bishop G4 check, and Bishop B2 is rook F1 check, things like that. It looks very, very bad for Magnus.
Hikaru sees it. Guess what he's doing? Something he's never done before. He's bringing some time off the clock. Resign right now if you're Magnus. Knight C3. Oh, he does. That's it.
Magnus was unfazed by being back down to 3, and he pushed hard in the next game, creating some dangerous pass pawns on the king side, and ultimately winning out when things got messy.
Oh, this is not looking good for Magnus.
No, it isn't. A2 is also a bit loose, so you can take your
Rook
eye
B1.
off that pawn. You could lose the A2, and he goes rook B2.
Oh my gosh! Where do you go? You have to give up A2. You called it. Bishop A2. Oh, here comes the H1.
He got A2.
Bishop A2 now. Oh, Hikaru's collapsing. He's losing control of the game. Bishop B4 and G3 was winning.
And look at that.
And what
Queen
this...
F5 for the quickest checkmate.
Yep, clinical until the end, even with 2 queens on the board. He ain't lazy. Every second matters here, and only 7 minutes have gone off the match clock, so it has not been a catastrophe. Magnus gets this lead back to 2, and another pivotal game of the white pieces.
In the following game, a quick tactic was a game ender.
Whatever you do, don't lose this game if you're Magnus. This would be a heartbreaker. 96! He got it a piece!
Oh my gosh! He resigns right away. So Hikaru feels the match is slipping, so instead of just wasting time, he's like, I need to get in the flow. Because right now he is a bit rattled, and Magnus Carlsen has cut the lead to just 1 point.
The players went into the marshal again in the next game, and Hikaru was pressing hard when the critical moment arrived, with Magnus attacking F2, while Hikaru was going after Magnus's king in the center of the board.
He let the king slip.
There was Bishop C7 there, but still, this looks like anybody's going to
Rook F2! Oh my gosh, Bishop C7 threatening mate!
You had to trick queens, but now black is on the pawn all of a sudden, and
but so is H7. This is still a 3-result game. In 2 seconds, anything can happen. A mouse slip, a blunder. Rook F5, another excellent move. Robert, he's going for that pawn.
Is that rook trapped?
Bishop A6, forced.
No, goes back. Rook, take it. Watch out. H7 pawn is safe and sound, and H6 is a problem.
You might lose this. If black wins H6, he wins the game. Now, if you're Magnus, do not flag. Do not flag.
F6, F6.
Bishop G8 draw.
That's a good awareness.
No, you can't take it. You can't take the pawn. It's tied.
And all inside that we have a tied match with 17 minutes to go. For the first time since the beginning of this match, Magnus Carlsen is level.
With 3 wins in a row, Magnus had tied up the match. The following game appeared to be heading to a drawn rook endgame, but then Hikaru found an unexpected opportunity with rook c4.
Try to squeeze just because you have the upper hand, you've got the
Whoa, apparently, no way.
There's like 8.
Oh, and then rook takes b4. Magnus just blundered with c5. He rushed it.
Oh my goodness.
He rushed it.
Huge
Might
moment
lose
for
this
Hikaru.
game.
How does he, my lands? How can he survive here?
I don't think he can. I think he's going to end up 2 pawns down, and that is still salvageable in some cases, but not here. Well, you zigzag your way through.
But the eval bar 2.2 is like fortress territory. Wait, blunder.
King D3 blunders.
Yeah.
Hikaru kept the pressure up in the next game as well, and he found a strong idea to trap Magnus's queen.
Carlsen once again. Dude, this is already heroic defense by Magnus. He's
Wow.
somehow holding on.
G6.
Oh, but the queen's going to get trapped. G4 is coming. It's unstoppable.
That is crazy. F5 is what awareness from Hikaru.
Queen H5. Get rid of the pawn. Or this.
Trap the bishop.
Even better.
Hikaru is a beast.
Oh, but what a move by Magnus. GF.
There's nothing there.
Queen H5 tiger couldn't have taken the rook. It's over. Unreal.
There was definitely still time remaining for Magnus to come back from down 2, but it was going to be tight. He played a great game with white and won in the end, but it was a long game, and it used a lot of time. He was now down 1 with 5 minutes remaining. In the next game, Hikaru showed that he was not satisfied to play solidly with white and try to hold on to his edge. He pushed his pawn up to a6, setting up some nice tactics later in the game. There was only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the match clock. Magnus had to win quickly to have any chance of starting one more final game and winning that one as well to force tiebreaks. Initially, it did not look like he would be able to win this game, much less win quickly. But then he got an edge in the rook endgame, and he quickly turned that into a winning edge. Would he be able to win it, though, before Hikaru drained the remaining clock time?
Hikaru Nakamura
This might be
is on
it.
the verge of the SEC championship. He is in the driver's seat. He's not losing this game with the black pieces. But something just happened.
Oh, he did. He blundered the pawn. Now he's got 50 seconds. He might even be able to build up enough time to plead it out. It's going to be really close, but Magnus has winning chances now.
Oh, for sure. He'll go F3
Oh my gosh.
at some point.
But
One minute,
Robert,
35 seconds remaining on the match clock.
look at what Hikaru's doing. He's just playing instantly. He's trying to plead this out. He's got 40 more seconds. He needs to
Rookie
burn.
five. Rookie
He's
five.
losing.
He's lost.
But does he have enough time?
Oh my gosh, Magnus has to show off the mouse speed right now because this is a winning position for White. He's winning a second pawn just like Hikaru did in the previous game.
Magnus cannot afford to waste a single second. This could be over if Hikaru can bleed another minute off the match clock. Here we go.
1 minute, 10 seconds. Every
Oh, look at the
second
free
counts.
moves.
King H6.
He's going to win.
G5, rook F6.
G5,
Rook
F6, and King G7.
G7, it's winning. Oh my gosh.
No, but Hikaru, he has 15 more seconds. He needs to bleed.
15 seconds. King F8.
King
Oh my
F8,
God.
move. If you're Magnus, Hikaru's going to make it happen.
Is it G5?
Oh,
G5.
oh.
Rook F4.
Rook F4.
Oh my gosh, the ladder. Queen.
D8 queen. No, he doesn't have enough time. Hikaru made
It's
it.
over. It's over.
No, that's it. It's over.
Hikaru recognizes it. He wins the Speed Chess Championship. Magnus gives a little bit clap for Hikaru Nakamura. But what a performance from the American superstar. He has won the Fisher Random World Championship this year. He's winning Title Tuesday pretty much twice every single Tuesday. And now he has taken the Speed Chess Championship. That is your streamer. That is your SEC winner in 2022.
Hikaru Nakamura is the 2022 Speed Chess Champion. The chess world has been waiting 5 years for the Speed Chess Championship rematch, and it delivered in every possible way. Both players were open, cheerful, and appreciative of their opponents in their post-match interviews.
No, I mean, I think the thing is I'm playing Magnus. I mean, if you can't get excited by playing Magnus, then why are you playing chess? I mean, he's the best player in the world. He's a world champion. If you can't be excited, then like there's something wrong.
He's amazing at this format. I remember his match against Fedoseev 2 years ago. His 5 plus 1 segment there. I thought that's pretty much as well as possible to play that particular time control. And I did feel today that he can sort of at least
तो
very
देख
close
रहे
to
थे इस मैच को अब
hats off
अभी
to everyone. That was
क्लोज करने जा रहे हैं हम
not fun to face on that particular segment, but it
इस
was,
मैच को नाकामुरा ने बेहतरीन तरीके से जीत गए